Happy Monday, everyone. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time. It is the 13th day of November. Hope you had a good weekend. Our weather today, not great. Pretty gloomy. Looked like a Monday, felt like a Monday, looked like November, felt like November today. It's typically one of our cloudier months, and there's data to back that up. Let's take a look at the data here this evening. You know, our cloudy season in Northeast Ohio and Western PA really kicks in during the month of November and continues through about March. Notice the big jump that occurs in cloudy days from October to November. And we certainly saw that bared out today with an overcast sky, occasional drizzle, and just kind of a murky-looking day today. This is a visible satellite loop from the GOES 16 satellite starting at 8 o'clock this morning and finishing up at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Already, of course, seeing the setting sun at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on this visible satellite picture. It's also that time of the year where we have those early sunsets for the next few months. All right, 2-degree guarantee today. We hit the mark, or we were off by 1 degree today, so we were within 2. So we get a check mark today. 42 is the forecast, 43 the actual high today. That puts our latest streak up to 5 days, and we've only had 2 misses out of 13 so far in November. 2017 accuracy at 74%. That was the story for today. Let's look back at roughly the first half of the month. We've still got, tomorrow and Wednesday before we're technically halfway through. This was our November forecast that we put out around Halloween, showing much colder than normal or average temperatures in parts of the northern plains up into the prairies of Canada, with warm weather down in the deep south compared to average, and above average temperatures for our part of the country. That was the forecast. Here's the reality through the first 13 days. Certainly picked out where the cold air would be pretty well, picked out where the warm air would be pretty well. Where we're not doing as great, the battle zone, and that includes us. With the recent cool snap, we're slipping below average now. Now, there's still plenty of time for things to recover and for our forecast to verify, but my suspicion is that November is going to end up being near to somewhat below average instead of above average like our original forecast. But otherwise, we had the placement, at least so far through the first 13 days, the placement of the cool and warm areas pretty well, especially the extremes. It's it's kind of the battle zone areas from New England back through Northeast Ohio, Western PA, kind of this zone where the forecast isn't doing quite as well. All right, so that's a little review of what has happened so far. Let's start talking about the future. Big picture for your Tuesday. We're down under 10 hours of daylight now. We're at 9 hours and 55 minutes. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:10, 5:04 the sunset for your Tuesday evening. Our forecast tomorrow will match today. 43, that's 7 below average. Record high 69, 1994. Record low set 8 years earlier in 1986. It was 12 degrees on the 14th day of November. All right, we had a sea of clouds today, and I think tomorrow is going to be pretty cloudy as well. We might try to get some sun at the last minute, but bulk of the day we'll still have this deck of stratocumulus clouds and stratus clouds around. Might even see a touch of drizzle at the start of the day, maybe just close to sunset. By 4:35 the sky tries to brighten, but with sunset 5 after 10, we're not going to have much time to see much sun tomorrow. Now the sky will clear some tomorrow night, and I think we'll get a little sunshine Wednesday morning before the clouds roll back in. Here's the first of 2 cold fronts that will impact our region through the weekend. The first one's definitely the weaker of the 2. Timing on the showers looks like late afternoon towards sunset into the evening. And then we'll be left with another deck of stratocumulus clouds on Thursday. What else is new? And out of those clouds, maybe there's a touch of drizzle or a shower on Thursday. Let's talk about the second cold front because it is by far and away the stronger of the 2 fronts. This will approach on Saturday. Now, we still have some timing differences on our models here with regards to the timing of the front. I hedge a little more towards the slower solution, which is favored by the European model instead of the GFS. And so this graphic kind of depicts that slower idea. If the faster idea is right, this front will come through in the morning with rain, and then we might even see snow showers before the day is through. My suspicion is that's too fast, and that it's just likely to rain for a lot of the day Saturday, and any snow showers would then hold off till Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. One thing for sure, it's going to be really windy out ahead of this, and actually behind it as well. But Saturday could be particularly windy. And can't even rule out a rumble of thunder on Saturday. Now, the front will roll through at some point, yet to be determined. And then, it's going to be definitely cold enough on Sunday for the lake effect machine to really get going here. Notice our wind coming in off the lakes. And this should be a pretty good lake effect day coming up on Sunday for especially, the usual suspects. The primary lake effect areas, the snow belts, and lake effect snow, of course. It's all about the temperature difference between the water and the air that's flowing over the water. The waters on the lakes are not warm, but they're warmer than the air that will be flowing over them. That causes some evaporation, some rising air, some clouds, some precipitation, and downwind of the lakes, then it's deposited oftentimes as rain. But as we get deeper into the season, of course, it becomes more and more snow, and it can accumulate hot and heavy, especially up in the snow belt areas. Now, today's only Monday. We got plenty of time to talk about amounts, but I think this will be enough to shovel and plow in parts of... let me skip ahead to the snow here. This will be enough to shovel and plow, I suspect, in parts of southwest New York, northwest PA, maybe down into Lake Geauga, Ashtabula counties in Ohio. I doubt it's much, in the way of a big-ticket item here locally in Youngstown, but you probably don't have to head too far to the north and east. And there may actually be another lake effect event right before Thanksgiving, at least according to the European modeling, that would reinforce the snowpack right before the holiday in the snow belts. All right, let's talk about the wind on Saturday. This could be, a big-ticket item. Again, we have some timing challenges with regards to the front, but no matter what time the front rolls through, it's going to be windy Saturday to Saturday night. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had some 45 to 50 mile per hour plus gusts with this. This is a deepening area of low pressure moving through Quebec and Ontario. And it's gonna get pretty windy, I think. I talked about the snow. Let's talk about the longer range for a couple of minutes here. This is a chilly pattern, taking us right through Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the final day on this graphic. It's 10 days from now on Thursday. And I think it's very, very likely it will be at least a chilly Thanksgiving, if not a cold one. It does not look like a warm Thanksgiving compared to average at all. In fact, Saturday is probably the only day of the next 10 in which we get a little above average, and it's probably just a little. When we look ahead towards the end of November and kind of starting to wrap up November and get ready to head into December, here's a look at the latest 8 to 14-day outlook showing continued warmth out west and continued cooler than average temperatures in the east. The end of the month, to me, does not look crazy cold by any stretch, but a continuation of the pattern we're in right now seems pretty likely in that it'll be somewhat chilly, if not cold at times, at the end of the month. Everything compared to average. Of course, end of November should be chilly, but, when I'm talking about this stuff, it's always compared to average. It's Monday evening. Twice a week we get the European weekly breakdowns, European modeling, and I like to look at these, especially at this time of the year. And as I roll ahead here, each and every week features warmth in the west and some degree of cool weather in the east. It may retreat some at the end of November and early December. Advertised here a more zonal flow across the U.S., keeping most of the cold up in Canada. But you don't see much warmth here when I keep scrolling ahead as we get into December. You don't see anything crazy looking cold. It'll be crazy cold in Canada, but aside from the occasional cold shot, I don't see anything on this set of modeling that suggests that it's going to be just crazy cold as we get into the month of December. My original December forecast put out with the winter forecast earlier on this month called for a milder than average month. I suspect I'm going to be revising that as we get closer. I may not call for a real cold month, but maybe closer to average than the original forecast based on some of the latest data. Thanks for checking out Weather for Weather Geeks tonight. I'll see you back here tomorrow night, and enjoy the rest of your Monday night.